enthusiastic today. So, welcome folks to LA2M. How's everybody doing today? Great. Thanks for coming. This is LA2M. My name is Derek Maribon, CEO of Ingenix Digital Marketing, and I'm up here with Stacy Collick from Dollar Bill Printing, your local digital print shop. And the reason we're up here as well, this is our lunch meeting, and I see a lot of familiar faces, a lot of new people today. How many first-timers? First-time people? Okay. Welcome, folks. We do meet here every Wednesday, and I think our speaker, because we always have great speakers every Wednesday, always a lot of marketing topic. Our speaker brought up some familiar faces that we haven't seen in a while too. So thanks to all of you who haven't been here in a while. Welcome back. So LA2M is a 501c3 nonprofit group. We're 501c3 nonprofits. We're all about marketing education. We provide free programming. If you want to attend these programs, it's free. If you want lunch, as many of you are finding out, it's $10, and Conor O'Neill does a great job. And then if you want to help support us, we pass the hat. So we're old school. So we don't have a fee to join. We don't have a membership fee, but we do pass the hat. We ask if you have a few bucks, you can throw it in the hat, and that kind of helps pay for our costs, because we do have some expenses. So Stacy, being our treasurer, will pass around the hat, so to speak, or the plastic bucket. We also have sponsors, and the sponsorship for LA2M is really cool because our email list, so we have members, or we have people that come from all around Southeast Michigan. So if you're a sponsor, our email list goes out to around 2,000 people, where you get a nice banner in there that promotes your business. And then you also get to come to the events and do things like flyer the events and talk to people, and we're going to let our sponsor talk in just a moment. But the point is, you get all this for only $250 for the month. So it's a great value. And we need a sponsor for December. So we don't have a sponsor for December. So is there anyone out there that's maybe a small business and is looking for a nice $250 marketing opportunity? I think that's pretty reasonable and comparatively, right? Anybody want December? The holiday month, it's a good month to be a sponsor. We have our big holiday party. Anybody in here? Okay, no pressure.
All right, I'll do it.
You want to do it?
I'll do it.
Okay. Well, you know what? Since we're off the last week of December, I'll give it to you for $200.
Yeah. All right.
So discount.
Bargain.
Okay.
See?
So good. So look at this. Look at this kind generosity. Our speaker is going to sponsor, and she's got a great company. We'll tell you about it.
And I'll make sure you have a nice time at the Christmas party.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll get you a nice time at the holiday party. Which the holiday party is December 18th. So that's a great event. You can bring your employees out. Connor's puts on a huge spread, and it's really kind of fun. It's like the Wednesday before Christmas, right? And then the next week we're off because it is Christmas. But a couple other points of business. Follow us, hashtag LA2M. You can tweet at LA2M. You can check in on Foursquare at LA2M. I think Carter is still the mayor. And we have a big LinkedIn group. We have a Facebook page, so follow us. Any of you that are new, please join our communities on LinkedIn and Facebook, and follow us on Twitter. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce our very generous sponsor. This guy's great. Not only does he come to LA2M every week, he brings his students, he teaches search engine marketing at Eastern Michigan University, and he has this incredible program, which I heard sold out, but then they opened up a few more spots. So I'm going to let Bud Gibson from Eastern talk about this his sponsorship.
Hey, thanks, Karen, and I'll point out I'm a full rate sponsor, so I'm supposed to move over this way so that I can be photographed better. But let me talk to you about the Search Marketing Workshop. This is our third annual Search Marketing Workshop that we're putting on. We've done it to sell out audiences in the first 2 years. We moved this year to the EMU Student Center, which is going to be a great venue and where we have free parking for you. Okay, so worried about parking? Don't be. Plenty of spots, a lot right next to the Student Center, and it's a great venue. But what are you going to get there? Well, are you wondering about your digital marketing mix? How do I mix search with social? How do I make any sense out of all of that? What are the different things people are doing? This is evolving constantly. So if you dipped your toe in the water a couple of years ago, well, it's very different now. So we will have practitioners, some of them from agencies, some of them from companies. So for instance, our lunch keynote speaker is Matt Cardwell, VP of Marketing and Quicken Loans. He's going to talk about spending $1 to make at least 3. Okay, and then we're going to have, they spend about $6 million a month in paid advertising on the web. He's going to talk about their Twitter and how they mix that up with their search, and then how they combine all of that with just plain old media, TV ads and all of the rest. But we're going to also have two tracks of sessions leading up to that. One focusing specifically on, gee, I'm trying to get into paid search advertising and other types of search marketing. What do I do? That's going to be one track. Those are going to be interactive workshops where you'll get actionable takeaways. And another track is going to be content and social media. So we have sort of, in our morning keynote is going to be actually the two Pures, we call them, Dave Lawrence from Pure Michigan talking about branding, and then Linda Gerard from Pure Visibility talking about how to mix in search marketing with branding. All of this for $25 if you act by a week from Friday. Derek brought up, we blasted through our initial seating capacity. I went back and looked at the charts and said, how can we add some people without packing them in like sardines? We came up with another 20 slots. We're 2 into those, so act fast to get your discount and to get a spot. We'd love to see you there.
Thank you, Bud. And if you didn't get all that, you can talk about it after the conference, or we have flyers for you. One more important piece of business before we introduce our speaker. There's something very important happening this weekend that some of you may be aware of. A certain football game between the Michigan State Spartans and, who are they playing? Oh, yeah, Michigan Wolverines. I'm just curious, who's going to win this game? Can I see a show of hands for Sparty? Who thinks Sparty's going to win?
Oh, look at
Okay, that's not bad. That's good. That's good. All right, who thinks the Wolverines?
Woo!
All right. It should be a good game. Anybody going to the game? Anyone going? I know Scott's going. Anyone else going? No, I wish I could go. It's gonna be a great game. It's gonna be a great game. But all right. So we're gonna give the T-shirt. Megan, come on up, get your T-shirt. Stacey's gonna send that to you.
There's
also the photo op.
The cross-country championship, so running against you there.
All the cross-country championships.
And at least the women, I think we're going to win that one as well.
But so Megan is getting the free T-shirt, brought to you by Bank of Arbor, another one of our sponsors. But real quick, Meaghan McCann, I've known, look at her, she's great. I've known her for a long time. We used to do the ad club together, back when there was an ad club. And we did a lot of fun stuff, and she's wonderful. So she really got into this search engine marketing in its infancy. She's become an expert. She's helped tons of companies. And her company, Search Ad Marketing. Wasn't there Search with Sam or something? That was your slogan? Yeah. So anyway, Search with Sam, Search Ad Marketing. They do great work. Meaghan McCann, we're lucky to have her. Let's give her a big round of applause and welcome her.
Thank you for having me back, Derek. It's always a lot of fun to come back to LA2M because what we're forced to do as speakers is condense our message into a very brief presentation. 30 minutes is not a long time to pack in everything that we want to touch on, but there are nuggets I want you to leave here with today that are very important, and I will point those out to you. So, does your website rule or drool? This is a kind of a tutorial on what websites should do and what you should expect out of working with a website professional. So you should leave here feeling a little bit more confident about having conversations with the people who manage your websites. All right, so who am I and why should you care? Well, as Derek mentioned, I've been involved in digital marketing for a long time. I've been AdWords certified for over 6 years. And it's because of managing AdWords programs that my company started developing websites, because a lot of companies came to us asking for, we need web traffic, we're going to pay for web traffic, help us get that. But they're sending traffic to really bad websites that don't get their visitors to convert. And for those who don't know, a conversion is when a visitor to your website takes the action that you want them to. They're giving you value. So we offered now the service to develop the websites that help the visitors get conversions and avoid sending traffic to really bad websites that don't convert. So we do web development. I also help with social media management, which plays a role in getting more website traffic and more experience, more exposure for your business online, and content creation. We help authors, we help experts become authors and use their content on websites on articles and other distribution areas to get more traffic to their website. So we have a multifaceted digital marketing approach to helping our clients build their clientele. And like I said, today we have 30 minutes, there's a lot to cover. So I'm hoping there's some time at the end for questions. I want to be able to answer any questions that you have, and hopefully you'll have some. So today, what you are going to learn are these points. Website best practices. What are your goals and the purpose of your website? Talking about who is your audience, knowing your audience, and how to identify them. The design, the layout, and navigation, how easy it is for people to get through, and what the visual effect is of the website to the visitor. Content on your website, who is it about, and what you should expect to pay for in web design, and what you should not pay for in web design, and how to have that conversation with your web developer. We're also going to talk about, of course, traffic sources, because it doesn't do any good to have a website, good or bad, out there in the middle of a field with no traffic going past it. So you're out in the forest and there's no highway. What you need to do to get traffic to your website through pay-per-click, SEO, and offline to online methods. So who here has a website? Okay, I'm going to start with, keep your hands up. Keep your hands up if you would. Mike, with your mouth full, why do you have a website?
Actually, I run it for my wife, who is an academic website, and she wants to promote her articles and things like that. So it's really for academic purposes.
For providing information?
Yeah.
Okay, and why do you have a website?
Providing information.
Provide information, okay. Over here, do we have some hands? Carter, why do you have a website?
To get people to be interested in my photography, and also I tell people where I'm shooting at. Period of time.
Okay, to have a presence online so people can learn information about you. And why did you have a website?
Build business, customer solutions, offer more products.
Offer more products, okay. You know what was interesting is nobody said to gather leads. And lead generation on websites is a really huge purpose for a website. It's great to provide information, but who are you providing that information to? And why are you providing the information? How are you going to get in touch with people again if we're not doing some lead generation? Which is one of the big challenges that we've come across with people who are driving traffic to their website with their own money, is not getting or be able to keep in contact with people who have been to your website and identifying who those people are so you can build a relationship with them. So we talked about why you have a website. Reasons for websites typically, yes, are for providing information, but lead generation is a really huge one. You want to get phone calls, you want to collect email addresses. Some websites are e-commerce, you might want to sell stuff, giving general information. Carter's got a site that provides information about where he's shooting next and other information about his services. Bank of America, of course, has information about your services, but I got to believe you got a lead capture on your website somewhere where you capture some information.
I don't work for Bank of America.
Oh, you don't? You've got the jacket. Okay.
Bank of Ann Arbor.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bank of Ann Arbor. Okay. Does your website somewhere have a lead capture? Lead generation?
Yeah, I think it does.
Somewhere on there? Okay.
Yeah,
I would think so.
Through our remarketing and stuff like that.
Okay. So there are many other reasons why people would have websites, but primarily it's to capture information so you can build relationships with the people who come to your website and you can do business with them. So when you've got a website, the most important thing to do in the beginning is to have a clear goal. Understand what the purpose is of your website. And for the sake of our discussion today, I will be focusing on lead generation and holding relationships with people who come to your website. Okay, just to be clear about that. During the website process, this is the only time your website is about you. All of the rest of the time, the focus is on the visitor and what you can provide to the visitor and what they're going to get out of their visit to you. Otherwise, they're most likely not going to come back. Ever been to a website where it's all me, I? And it turns off the visitors. We need to phrase things in ways that are appealing to the visitors, that's about them, where we're putting the benefits in a position of how it serves you, not how you come into my website serves me. Does that make sense? Just having a conversation. You can't have a conversation that's all about yourself. You have to ask questions and learn information about the people who are visiting you. Clear calls to action to prevent people from thinking. And point number 2 is do not let them think. And that's because if you let people start thinking about what they want to do, you will lose them. So it's nice to have a clear path for your visitors to follow so that not a lot of choices are given to them. And by that I mean they've got clear instruction on what their expected behavior is to do next. And we do that by giving clear calls to action. If it's click here to learn more, great. If it's fill out this form to download this paper, great. Whatever it is that you want them to do, tell them. Don't give them a lot of options. Take the ability to think away from them. We don't want them to go away. Understanding your audience. This is really big because a lot of people say, oh, my products and services, they're good for everybody. Well, that might be true, but most likely, if you are able to dig deep into who your audience is, you'll find a lot of commonalities among them. And having the ability to identify what those commonalities are is pretty difficult, unless you've got some really deep socioeconomic graphic information at your fingertips. So it's good if you can have an idea in your head of who your client is or who you want them to be, and most likely it's not you. You probably are not your best customer. But your best customer might be, if you're doing consumer businesses, it might be moms between the age of 35 and 45 with 2.5 kids, whose household income is $90,000 or whatever it might be. Having an idea of who that person is going to help you build your website in a way that you can have a conversation and relate to the people coming to it. And yes, it is difficult to pick one avatar, we're going to call it an avatar, to build a website for when you think that you do have a wide variety of people that you serve, but you can start there, get a lot of traction with the audience you're trying to bring in, and then expand it once you've perfected that little niche that you're targeting. So know your audience, and it's not you. We talked a little bit about what the demographics are, of how to identify your audience. You're going to think about age, gender, their education, their income level, their family status. What do they need versus what you have and what that fit is. And that might be something you want to take a note of, because this is a question that you will answer all throughout the content in your website. What is it that you need, and how is it that my company can provide the solution for that need? All the way through the content of your website, you're going to be answering their question. And the more that you can answer that and satisfy their need, the more they're going to feel a connection to you and want to do business with you. There are many other socioeconomic factors that you'll consider. And I mentioned the word avatar. That's building that perfect image of the person you want to do business in your head. And I'll give you a story to illustrate this a little better. And you might look at the bottom line and say, what the heck are you talking about? If you want to trap a leprechaun, don't tempt a princess. It's kind of out there, right? Well, the story goes like this. My son last year in kindergarten had an assignment to build a leprechaun trap. My daughter, who was in preschool at the time, decided she wanted to build a leprechaun trap too. So we did some research on leprechauns. Leprechauns like shiny things, money, they live in the grasslands, they like trees, they like gold, and one shoe. I don't know why they want one shoe, but one shoe is a leprechaun thing. My daughter decided she wanted to build a princess house, which was pink and had fluff and cotton candy and shiny glittery stuff, which is good for leprechauns, but better for princesses. So when we got done with the both of them, I asked them, okay, which one do you think is going to attract more leprechauns? Well, the one that was green and had, the jewels and the gold, of course. My son knew his audience. My daughter, not so much. So does that kind of clarify, know your audience a little bit? Yeah, it was a good test. So designs change a lot. We've got now, Microsoft brought out the real flat, square, boxy looking images that are out now instead of the 3D looking graphics. It's a trend. How long is that trend going to last? We don't know. How often is your website redone? That's up to you. But whether or not you follow trends closely to reflect those in your website is up to you. But at a minimum, stay current with design trends as they relate to your business and as they relate to your audience. So if you have a design that's for I know, I'll show you a couple examples in a minute, and you're gonna go, holy cow, look at these, they're just horrible. But you know your audience to know the design, have an idea of what the design is that's going to be appropriate for them and for the products that you sell. You don't want real dark, heavy backgrounds when you're selling happy things. And vice versa, if you're selling depression counseling, you don't want really super cheery lollipops and rainbows on your background either. So we want to be conscientious of what the audience is looking for and what it is that we're selling to make sure that there's a good mesh in the message that comes across to them when they visit your website. So staying current with web designs, there's information that's based on user behavior data that's available, and your web designer, web developer will have that, and we can have a discussion with you about it, what is what you're expecting and what you think, and then come up with an appropriate design, and your demographic data as well, your audience and what their expectations are. So here's an example, I don't know why you can see it. This website on the left, I think, was built before the internet was even around. And here's the new one, which you really can't see very well, but it's a lot lighter. I mean, this is an e-commerce site. Yeah, they've got some good categories way over there on the left that you can barely see, but here it's a lot cleaner navigation. So the conversion rate on this new one quadrupled over the last one. And we've been able to throw all the money that was being wasted on AdWords in the old one and get so much higher return from the new website. And again, this is e-commerce, so they're looking for direct sales, immediate sales. This is a service site. Here's their old site. It's not bad. It's easy to look at. But the new one is cleaner, lighter. Again, this is more consumer-based website. And the conversion rates on their AdWords improved as well. I don't know what the numbers are off the top of my head, but they shot up when the new website was launched. So having fresh, relevant content, point out number 4. There's a couple of good reasons to have fresh, relevant content on your site. And you can do fresh content in the form of a blog, a weekly blog, or a couple times a month. You can post fresh content on your website. Or you can change some of the content within the static pages. But the point is that Google likes to see living, breathing, live websites that are getting some attention and some love. If your website doesn't get any attention and it's stagnant, Google counts that against you. The other thing is, for the visitors, give them the information that they've come for immediately. Because it's fractions of a second that we have to hang on to their attention before they go away. And if anybody knows Google Analytics, you can look at bounce rates and see how fast someone leaves your site once they've come to visit you. And if you're driving traffic there using AdWords and you're blowing money because people aren't even sticking around to read your content, it's time to reevaluate what the content is that you are providing to them. If it's nothing that's actionable or any nugget that they can use right away, we're not going to stick around. So whatever landing pages you're sending traffic to, if you're using paid search, or if on your home page there's not something helpful within the first couple of lines of the top paragraph, you're going to want to go back and take a look at that and revise it, because we want people to stick around and take in the content that's on your website so that you can start that conversation with them and get them to take the action you want, which might be picking up the phone to call you or filling out a form and providing their email address. Again, this is another point where it's not about you. In the content, we want to make sure the focus is on the consumer and what their needs and wants are, and how what you have can serve them, not how them coming to your website serves you. And that's a really hard mind shift for some of the business owners that we've talked to make. All right, moving on. Next, please. So understanding the costs of a website. I can't tell you how many times we've talked to people who are like, I have no idea what the conversation is I just had with my webmaster. They come to us to drive traffic to their site with AdWords, and they don't even know what they got when they bought their website. Well, it's supposed to do this and this and this, but they don't know the right questions to ask. So anytime you start going through a web development process, educate yourself as best you can and talk to your web developer and tell them that, I'm assuming that many of you haven't, or if you have, you've built a website, but it may have been a long time ago, that you may not be quite sure what you don't know. And so to give you as much information as possible, and I would even talk to a couple of different providers because you want to learn as much as you can to have a good conversation about this website that you're going to have for years to come. And you want it to perform in the way that's going to make you money and be beneficial to you, but you don't know what questions to ask. And that's a really frustrating, vulnerable position to be in, especially when you're forking out $5, $10, $15, even more, $1,000 on a website that you need to work for you. So ways to understand the costs are the number of pages that are in your website, how many layouts there are, which means the way a page looks and the way it behaves, and the navigation, which is how people move through it. That can add to the cost of your website. Content provided. Will they provide the content for you? Meaning, do you have to hire a copywriter? Or do you have content already ready to go into your website? People often think that, well, you're going to build a website for me that comes with the words too. It doesn't typically come with the words. You either need to provide that to your web developer or work with them to create that content for you, and that can be intimidating. Is it an e-commerce site? If you want to sell even one widget on your website, it's adding a whole other level of complexity. Now you're talking about adding in the e-commerce merchants and payment processing and all that stuff. So there's additional programming that goes into that. So just understand, if you have an e-commerce site, you can expect to pay more to have that website created. And the number of revisions. How many revisions are you allowed to make with the web designer? Are they major revisions or minor revisions? This is a question to ask going into the relationship, because they might have one idea, and if you think you can go back every time you want to make a change, you might find that you're being nickel and dimed over time to get the revisions made. And this is a big one, this last point, responsive design. Who knows what responsive design is? Leslie.
It's so that it still looks good if someone's looking at it from their phone.
Exactly. So is the website designer, developer, going to create you a website that's responsive to mobile devices, be it smartphones or tablets? How is your website going to look from one to the next? Pretty much all the designers I know have moved to doing responsive designs instead of having to create one website and then create a separate mobile site. So there's coding that's available now that allows one website to be created that will fit all the different devices. So understanding the costs going further about websites is SEO. This is a very common misconception about your web design. Oh, as soon as it launched, I'm going to get on the first page of Google and I don't have to pay for anything. Not true. Not true at all. Often SEO, even the stuff that's done on page, meaning to your website, is not included in your web development or web design package, because the person doing the development and design is not experienced in SEO. They are two completely different fields. If you can find a web development company that does design and SEO, you might want to talk about having that all put together in the same package when you start to build the website. And then you also need to understand there are multiple types of SEO as well. So having a website that's prepared for SEO, that has the on-page SEO done, is great. Then you need to talk about the continuing programs of off-page SEO that gets you more links coming into your website from the internet, from properties outside of your own website. So hosting, we'll talk about SEO. Hosting, does your web provider provide the hosting for you? Or do you have a hosting service of your own that can host your website? If your web provider is going to host the website for you, then you can expect to pay a monthly fee for that. It's not huge, but you will be expected to, you can expect to pay something to have your website hosted and maintained so it stays out live in Cyberland. Content and updates. So we talked a little bit about the revisions before. Revisions are different than updates. So ongoing, if you have changes that you want to make to the content on your site, are you responsible for it? Or if your web developer needs to do it for you, are there charges for it? You might get on a monthly plan where they allow you 3, 5, 10, however many changes you think you might need over time. But often I love WordPress, so if you can find a developer that uses WordPress, you are golden. You can pretty much do the change yourself if you have the time to do it. Of course, I'm all about giving somebody else the responsibility to take care of that. But WordPress does offer you very easy platform that you can make changes to yourself if you're a small business owner. Technical and maintenance. Is technical maintenance included in the package with your web developer. If so, great, because that means that any time that your platform changes, gives an update, or a new update is released, then your website is going to follow suit and not be left in the dust just to grow old over time and not be as effective and efficient as it could be. Split testing. Split testing is all about testing the conversion rates of different landing pages. If you're driving traffic to your website to one landing page, you'll know what the conversion rate is because you're going to measure things. Your web developer should help you put code on your website that's going to help you measure the success of your website. And if you're driving traffic to it through AdWords, we've got conversion tracking that we can check on one page versus creating another page, which is where your split test comes in, because you always want to be able to test one page, A/B split testing, one page to another one to see which one's going to perform better. Your changes don't have to be drastic, and in fact, we like to see small changes at first, and then check the performance of that, and then continue split testing. You will be expected to fork out some dough for additional landing pages for split testing of different landing pages. Okay. Now, understanding the cost again, don't pay for what you don't understand. It's very important that you have a conversation with your web developer about what the expectations are on their end and on your end so that there's a clear understanding across the board of what's going to be done. And if you don't understand anything, grill them on it. None of the web developers I've ever worked with are shady or try to squeeze out money for not providing what they've said they're going to provide, but they might not know what your expectations are. So again, don't pay for what you don't understand, and just ask a lot of questions, and don't assume anything. Don't assume anything. If you don't know what you don't know, go into the relationship, tell them that. Let them know that you're not 100% comfortable with your knowledge base, and they need to work with you. And they're really used to working with people who don't understand their language. Web developers live and breathe this stuff all day long. That's not your world. So you can't be expected to know all the stuff they know. So if you express that up front, openly with a web developer, they will work with you on it. So we've got about 5 seconds to talk about driving traffic to the website. And I'm glad that we focus most of the time on the development of the site and what's important in holding relationships and conversions, because getting traffic to it, there's a million different ways to do it. But the most important thing is having a website that converts and a website that gets you what you want. You have a purpose and a goal for the website. Make sure that it works before you start investing time or money into sending traffic to that website. So pay-per-click, the benefits are it's very fast, it's very measurable, you can change it at any time, and your spend is flexible. It's not like you're buying a Yellow Pages ad that you paid $10,000 for the year, and the wrong phone number's on it. Well, too bad, now you gotta wait till next year to have the new ad put in. If you don't like the way an ad is performing on pay-per-click, you change it, and it can be up and running the same day. I've seen Google take a day or two to make approvals on ads, but typically it's within a couple of hours. They're pretty quick. So you can start it and stop it at will also, which is good for seasonal businesses. So I've got a landscaper now who's transitioning from landscaping to snow removal. So he's just stopping one of his sections of his account and moving into another one and just starting to push more dough towards this other section of the account. All we had to do was just pause the ads that were running before for his landscaping. Okay. Drawbacks are the programs are very complex and getting more complex. It used to be, Google used to say, you can have a campaign up and running in 5 minutes. Well, sure you can if you want to lose your shirt. So there's a lot to know. There's a lot of intricacies into the program, and it makes a lot of sense if you can work with a student from Bud Gibson's class or an organization that manages AdWords professionally to help get you off the ground and give you good confidence in the foundation that you can move forward with. And it can also be, the cost can be cost prohibitive for some businesses. If you're selling $25 books and your clicks are $3 and it takes you 20 clicks to sell one book, that doesn't make any sense. The math just doesn't add up. Unless you've got a bigger product on the back end that you're going to sell at a later time. So search engine optimization on page, that's when you're optimizing your title tags and your content in your meta descriptions within your website. And you can build a web within your own website by linking pages together with relevant, we call it anchor text. So if you've got a web, some content on one page that's talking about a subject that's covered more in depth on another page, and you link to that page, you can make a web out of your website. And what that does is shows Google spiders that this website is relevant to itself. Every page of this website makes sense. And the Google spiders are going to come on there and see that there's a web that's created here and it's all relevant within itself. So that's on page. It's a very brief overview of on page. Off page is when you start building backlinks. And that can be done with article submissions and press releases, using social media, doing guest blogging. If you can put a blog on somebody else's website and have a link to your website back there, that's a link back to your site. It can be a very slow building backlinks to your site if you're doing it manually. So there are faster ways to build backlinks to your site. But if you work with an SEO provider, you want to make sure that they're doing things ethically and that they're not doing just really quick. Anybody who tells you that we can get you to the top of Google in 10 days or less, they're full of it. Or they're going to get you in trouble if they do get you up there. They're using tactics that are not recognized as white hat by Google. Local directories for local businesses are great for getting you found in your local area. The only thing about that is having the exact information about your location in every single directory. Because it's spiders that are looking at, those Google robots are looking at the information and not people. So if you've got 123 Main Street with street spelled out on some of the directories and 123 Main ST in other directories, they're going to think it's a different location. It might not be you, so they're not going to give you the juice for it. So you just want consistency throughout all of your local directories, at least on that one little piece. Other traffic sources would be offline to online, so direct mail, using special offers, coupons. If you've got coupons and books, you can always drag traffic back to your website through the links that you add on coupons that you put up in the envelopes, or flyers. I've got a friend who runs a haunted attraction around here in Ann Arbor, and she puts flyers on cars that have a QR code and a URL that go back to her website. So that's another way to drive traffic to the website. So today, your 5 takeaways, the takeaways are the 5 best practices are have clear goal and a purpose for your website that you clearly understand and can support all the way through the web development process. Understanding your audience, who you're building your website for, and who you are trying to attract. The design and layout, how easy is the layout to navigate? What does it look like? Is it going to keep people around, or is it going to be appalling, like that pen site that I showed you? The content, who is it about? You or yours, or I, we, us, me, my. You want to eliminate as many of those words in our content as possible. And understanding the costs and what you should and should not be paying for. Traffic sources, you've got pay-per-click, you've got SEO, there's offline to online, there are many others, but these are the ones we breezed over today. As I wrap up, I do want to share with you a couple free offers that I have. All of them are no sales, no pressure. I've got a free 15-minute phone consultation, if you would pass that around for me. If you are interested in either of these, you can put your card in the basket with a 15 or 37 on the card, because the first offer is a free 15-minute consultation where I'll answer any question that you have. I don't care what it is. If I can answer it, I will. Come prepared with a list of 3, and we'll nail them, knock them out. And I promise I won't try to sell you anything. I'll just be helpful, because you're part of the LA2M family. And the other one is a full-blown 37-point review of your website. And we evaluate, it takes about an hour and a half to do this report. So all we ask is that if you are looking to have your website done, or if your website is over 2 years old and you're even thinking in the back of your head about getting it overhauled at some point, that you would take us up on this offer, because there is a big time investment. Because not only do we do the review, but we sit down with you for an hour afterwards and explain to you everything that we found that could be helping or not helping your website perform as it could. Okay, so with that, do you have any questions?
If you have a question as we're passing around the cards, those are some great offers. I have a microphone here, so.
I have a question regarding landing pages.
Yeah.
There's a debate in my office as to whether or not a landing page should or should not have navigation buttons on it. In other words, some people think it should be naked, no buttons on it, just the offer, just the sign-up form. Others say, well, there should be a contact us, there should be more information, there should be another tab, this tab, that tab. What's your opinion?
Well, I'll tell you what Google says about it. They don't want you to trap anybody. You have to give them an out. So if you're driving traffic using AdWords, you have to be able to let people leave that page. So having some kind of navigation is going to be appropriate for that. You want to eliminate as many distractions. You don't want to give any additional choices. Whatever the offer is, whatever the call to action is, keep it plain and simple and focused on that. But they do have to have a way. They do have to have a way to escape your page if they don't want what you're offering.
Hey Megan, I'm Glenn from The Ride. Thanks a lot for your presentation tonight. So if you've gone through the process of establishing information architecture with your developers, you've gone through and gotten community input from your users, you've gone through the whole process, relaunched your website, then you've launched it and you use a tool to capture feedback after the fact, and you get the feedback saying your website is not useful, the design sucks, the website's slow. Getting that feedback and turning it into something constructive where you can actually make like maybe it should have been a beta rather than a relaunch, and how do you really have another relaunch, I guess? Is there a period of time, I guess is the first question, is there a period of time when you suggest implementing some of those changes? And then the second question being, when you've used community feedback to relaunch your site and you've used the input you've gotten, but then what you've gotten isn't what they end up wanting in the end, what do you suggest for changes and I guess how to communicate those?
Well, if you can save the platform that it was built on, the infrastructure is still good, start changing the way that the pages look, or maybe come up with some additional layouts, different layouts on pages, rather than starting from scratch. Yes, yeah, you might try just changing the look. And again, make the path easy for them to follow. Understand really what it is that the users are saying that their challenge is. And if you have to pick up the phone and have a conversation with some of them, I would do that. Especially the ones that frequently use your website, find out what it is they're looking for. I mean, are they trying to find the schedule? What are they trying to do, and how can you make it easiest for them? I don't know if that's me.
I have a question about remarketing. I've been doing some, looking at our Google AdWords and trying to focus on the amount of traffic we get on our website, how many people are there for a brief moment in time. And Google seems really passionate about their remarketing campaign, about targeting those people that are only on our website for like a minute with putting, advertisements on their page. Have you seen a lot of that? Would you recommend that?
Oh yeah, as a consumer, I'm not so crazy about remarketing because I've had ads for a plumber following me for 6 months. But as a marketer, I love remarketing. And for those who don't know what it is, Google has a program called the Display Network that lets you create the graphic ads that you've seen on websites before. When you click on an ad and you go visit the website, or even if you haven't clicked on the ad but you go visit the website, a cookie is put on your browser, and now other websites that you visit that are partners to Google will show you the ad from the website that you have visited. For an example, who has seen the YouTube video or the commercial for Kmart's Ship Your Pants? I was so impressed with Kmart and their Ship Your Pants that I went on the Kmart site and I was poking around, maybe they've changed, right? They're a little more contemporary, they really took a risk, and then check them out. Kmart ads start following me. So, which, it's fine. But if you have noticed ads now for products that you've looked at, maybe you go to overstock.com and you've looked at some shoes and now that shoe is following you around, they're using remarketing. That's what it is. So remarketing is really hot right now. It is effective if done correctly, and it needs to be measured just like everything else. I hope that answers your question.
Absolutely.
Great. So, quick question?
Yeah.
All right, we have time for one quick question.
I wonder, what are the key, must-haves that support conversion?
What are the key?
Customer conversion.
It really depends on your business and what you're trying to do. So if I'm trying to, as a business, my goal is to get leads. My website is a lead generation site. What I'm going to do is offer something in exchange for information, something of value that they really can't live without. It answers a burning question that they have to have an answer to, or they simply can't even wake up tomorrow. And you will give them this information in exchange for their name and email address, which you will use then in email autoresponder follow-up program or some other kind of contact. Does that answer your question? Kind of? We can talk after.
His card's in the basket, so maybe
Okay.
you can answer. All right, so let's give Megan a big round of applause. Wonderful talk, wonderful talk. So now we get to go around the room and introduce ourselves. So I ask that you stand up and project and speak clearly and tell us who you are, your company. Briefly, if you're looking for something, like if you're hiring or if you're looking for something, let us know and then pass the mic and we'll get all the way around the room in 15 minutes. And we'll start up here with our friend from Bank of America. Kidding. Bank of America. They're so different. Actually, I bank with both, and every time I walk in Bank of America, I want to like keel over. But Bank of America is very pleasant experience. I need to just switch over there. So anyways, here's Matthew. Let's read it.
Thank you. I'm Matthew from Bank of Ann Arbor. I work in the marketing department. I also work for 107.1 and do a local show called Treetown Sound.
Hello, I'm Victor Banta Photography, photographer in the area for all types of commercial and other types of photography.
Laura Kirchner with the Gen X Digital Marketing. I'm the Chief Client Officer. And Megan, great presentation. We do websites. You've laid that out really thoroughly and really concise. That's great. We focus on the lead gen portion of what Megan was talking about. So feel free to ask any questions. Thanks.
My name is Jessica Bertina and I'm from Lynn's Exhibit Group. We design, build, and manage trade show exhibits, and we're currently looking for a graphic artist intern. If anybody knows anyone or looking for something.
I'm studying information. I'm Sarah Lee, and I'm studying information systems at EMU. And I'm helping Dr. Gibson hosting his event search marketing workshop. Thank you.
I'm the Dr. Gibson in question. I'm Bob Gibson. I created the search marketing program at Eastern Michigan. Great to hear Megan talk about hiring our students. She is a happy customer, has hired some, and we have our students working around Southeast Michigan in large and small companies. Very happy to talk with you about your needs.
Anne-Marie Smith, Indemnity Advocates, insurance, coverage claims, and risk management consulting. We don't sell insurance, we make it work better for you.
Hi, I'm Lisa Bradley, and I'm a product manager and marketing analyst, and I help companies improve their sales, products, and branding, and I'd like to work with you.
Hi, my name is Les Wood, and I work for a company called MS2 here in town. We're experts in the design and hosting of transportation management systems. We're software developers, and we are looking for software developers with maybe 5 years of business experience. If you know of anyone, we're hiring. We're very interested in bringing in new talent to our company. So see me afterwards if you know a good software developer. Thanks.
Hey everybody, I'm Don Klein from The Ride. We just relaunched our website at theride.org, and actually this is a plug for a company we don't have any kind of affiliation with, but we use Zendesk as a customer feedback tab on the main page, on all the pages really, where users can submit feedback directly if they're having trouble. It's a way that they can reach out without having to go through clicks and calls to just submit feedback. We can call that feedback, we can have conversations with them based on what they're saying and make things better. So it's helped us out a lot. It's called Zendesk, and it's they have free and paid plans, I believe, and you can have a bunch of customer agents on it and just respond in real time, which is really nice, and they have a chat feature as well. So it's helped us out, it might help you as well. Thanks again, Megan, and sorry, Derek, but go blue.
Double that, go blue. I'm Stacy from Dollar Bill, your local digital print shop. But I want to say I signed up for Bud's conference. I went last year, and it's fabulous. So those 20 seats are going to be gone really fast. So if you want to learn more about a lot of this and have
18
lunch.
now, Stacy.
Ooh, 18 left now. So do that as soon as you leave here.
Hi, I'm Cliff Sheldon, representing Hanover Score. We do volunteer, that's free counseling for usually new and startup businesses.
Hi, I'm Margie Wisniewski. This is my first time here, so hello. I work for North Star Reach, and we're a nonprofit that's located here in Ann Arbor. We're building a camp that the University of Michigan had land for. They were going to build condos on, and it's in Pinckney, 100 acres, and it's for kids with serious health challenges that otherwise are just in the hospital, can't go to normal camps. They're cancer patients, heart patients, kids that are dying. They've had life-saving transplants. And we're part of the Paul Newman organization that started in the 80s called the Hole in the Logging Camps that is now Serious Fund. So we're looking for money, but we're also looking for a director of development and other groups to kind of help us get our mission. We'll be opening the camp in 2015.
I'm Caitlin. I went to Michigan State. Currently, I'm an intern at Bennett's, looking for full-time work in the coming months, and go Cranes.
Hi, I'm Amanda Washburn. I work here in Ann Arbor with Coherix. We're a 3D vision technology company. We primarily serve the automotive and semiconductor industries, and I'm their marketing manager. Would add one little tip with generating those leads. We've launched, whenever anyone downloads a document off of our website, they have to put in their name and email address. 2 days later, we send this automated email. We've made it so it doesn't look automated or sound automated, and we've been getting a lot of feedback. People responding saying, thanks so much, we're so interested, and I highly recommend doing that.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Vogel. I work in the marketing department for online tech. We're a hosting provider, so once you get that website taken care of and you need some hosting, we are secure, compliant. We a lot of times work with healthcare, also with e-commerce. Anyone who needs to have high availability needs to be up all the time. That's what we specialize in. So feel free to talk to me after.
Hi, my name is Jordan. I work for Dexter Builders, and we specialize in commercial and home remodeling. So if anybody's interested, has any questions, we do come out for free, take a look at it, and anything you have. We got a lot of pretty interesting people that can take care of anything you need.
Hi, I'm Chris Himpler. I own Capital Letters Marketing, a B2B marketing company here in Ann Arbor. And Megan is an old friend, and I wanted to see what she was up to, and it was a great presentation.
Thank you.
Hi, Jane Delancey, Delancey Design. We provide creative solutions for marketing, like website development, print. And I've been working with a graduate from Bud's program, and he's just been fantastic. So we're turning out some really good people.
I'm Bob Shannon. I'm a CPA in this area with my own CPA firm. I specialize in helping startups with their accounting, tax, and governmental reporting responsibilities. Ample experience representing clients in audits because the news has come out, Congress has funded at least a 15,000 increase in positions at IRS.
Hi, I'm Katie Marsack. I'm from Graphic Color Exhibits. We are a trade show display company located in Livonia. We help companies that exhibit at trade shows or have corporate events display their brand and their image successfully. So if you are looking for help promoting your brand at a trade show, I'd love to talk to you. I'm also looking for a Spartan victory this weekend.
Yes.
Go green.
All right, go white. Thank you, Megan. It was very helpful. Scott Phillips, I'm doing a new startup business called thesearchlight.com. It's an online community which helps tech startups match their capabilities with new customer segments. So my customers are university, tech transfer, business accelerators, SCORE, SD, PDC, and organizations like that. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Sweden. My company is Out of Sight Designs. I'm a freelance web and graphic designer. I design and build websites, including WordPress sites, as well as do print design like brochures, conference materials, business cards, logo design. Thank you.
Hey, my name is David. I'm with the Ann Arbor Region Hotel on the east side of town. I've been coming to these meetings for a few weeks now. Always some great information. Thank you, Megan. Holiday parties coming up, groups coming to town. Let me know. I'm the hotel choice.
I'm Roger Rayle. I'm a venture catalyst. I help with a number of networking groups here in town, including this one. I do a lot of live streaming, recording of video. I want to pitch the Ann Arbor Ignite Ann Arbor, I guess is the way to really say it. Number 8 is coming up Sunday, November 17th, just a couple weeks from now. We have 16 speakers who will talk for 5 minutes each, because it's Ignite is kind of like a short TED Talk. It's 20 slides that automatically advance every 15 seconds, so it's exactly a 5-minute talk. And it's eclectic subjects. It was tough to pick from the 31 or 32 people who applied, but we've got 16 really good and interesting talks coming up. So you can go to the Ignite Ann Arbor website and learn more about it. Also, my immediate family of 4 people, we have 7 degrees from Michigan, so go blue.
My name is Andrew Stover. I help run a startup called Star Toilet Paper. We do unique advertising, and we're testing out a new product here in Ann Arbor. And so right now we're building a network, an advertising network focused at college students and young people. And so we're giving away a slot of free advertising to anybody willing to sit down and talk to us about it. So if you're looking for some advertising for some young people, I'd love to talk to you. Thanks.
I'm Leslie Wilkins. I work for a company called Health Decisions. We audit healthcare claims for big companies. But I wanted to echo Stacy. I went to Bud Gibson's program last year, and I'm already signed up for it this year with lots of really helpful information that you don't find anywhere else. And thank you, Megan.
Yeah, we're down to 12 slots. So. If the date's right, you can sign me up too. I got to just verify with my calendar. I'm Mike Freed. I'm retired from the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office a number of years ago, but for the last 40 years, besides doing my wife's website, I also have written and or support 3 other nonprofit websites and WordPress, Joomla, and .NET Nuke. I love your talk. It was really great. The only thing I would add, and we've had one actually horrible experience, is to also consider security. For 2 days, well actually it was like a day and a half, we had an infection in one of the sites that was right at the top of Google, and in terms of your membership, to have your site show up right on Google and right under it have by Cialis at this site is pretty bad. And be careful about your provider, because a lot of these infections actually come through the server that your site's on in any case. Thank you.
I'm Carter Sherline from Fence Studios, and I'm a editorial commercial portrait photographer for images produced by use advertising or private displays. Magazines, and as I said, there are other sports going on this weekend, shooting the Big Ten Cross Country Championships, where Michigan State will also be doing probably in the women's race, Wisconsin runs every event, and I'll be shooting Bud's conference as well. And the images I shoot today will go up on the group's Facebook page.
Thank you, Carter, for taking all the pictures. Excuse me, my name's Derek Maribon. If you don't know me, I run a company called Ingenix Digital Marketing, and we focus on helping businesses reach their goals, similar stuff to what Megan does. But I really enjoyed your talk. Great information. I think hopefully you learned a lot, and we'll give her one round of applause in a minute. But I just fired up my LA2M To Go app, which I love my LA2M To Go app, and it's loaded with some great speakers. So next week we have Sean Hickey of PWB Marketing, and the title is Marketing ROI, Reality, Myth, or Yeti? I'm guessing Yeti. But then we have Ryan Schramm from a really cool company that sells advertising to like celebrities, like, pay me $20,000 and I'll tweet your thing. Hubert Sawyers is after that about digital marketing, then Jim Hume from Fire Branding, and then Al McWilliams from Quack, and his talk's going to be insane. So basically, I think your Wednesdays are booked for the next month. I mean, next, except for Thanksgiving, where we take off Thanksgiving. But yeah, so make sure you come back next week. Yes, do I have anything else to say? I don't think so. Oh, go green. Go green. Happy what?
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween tomorrow. Go out and be safe. Give out lots of good candy. I like the chocolate ones. And let's end with a nice big round of applause for Meaghan McCann. Thank you. We'll see you next time. All right.
Thank you.